I'm
All
done now.
right. Welcome back to Radio Free Freedonia, where apparently marriage is legalized stalking. You're welcome.
Go
Help me,
us.
I'm trapped.
Go us. We're obviously already adulting tonight.
Yep.
I'm
Happy
sorry for
marriage.
running late. Yet again, I have not started Discord on this computer in probably a week, 2 weeks. And so it decided it needed to update Discord for like 10
Like,
minutes.
hey, I'm Discord. Fuck you.
You know, I love Discord, but at the same time, I get very frustrated with and I need to update every time I turn it on. Every time.
Like I said, hi, I'm Discord. Fuck you.
Pretty much. Hey,
I
Bara.
have received this response more than
Hi.
once.
Hey, Bara, can we not squeaky the toy right now? We're recording, you jerk. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, that's a nice girl. Okay. Yeah, I have Froggy in my lap, and Bara and Dragon are up here playing today. And Bara has decided she likes the hedgehog squeaky toy. But I've had an interesting day. I've had like the highs and lows of substitute teaching. I had two boys who ended up with, I guess, 3 days out of school suspension this morning. That was not my intention.
Oh, you.
Yeah. So I guarantee you, Blue Shirt started it. Like, I don't have to have seen who started it to know Blue Shirt and Blue Shirt's mouse started it. But he put his hands on Brown Shirt, and Brown Shirt pushed him back, type of thing. And I'm like, you know what? It's PE, right? So do some push-ups. Promise not to touch each other anymore. Let's move on. And Blue Shirt's like, okay, yeah, my bad. Does the push-ups, right? Brown Shirt throws a hissy fit and declares that he's done nothing wrong and he's not doing it. Yeah, it's the public school. This isn't the really real world, and you're not an adulty adult. You do not get to defend yourself by putting your hands back on the other person. You're supposed to tell the teacher. You know this. You're not a baby. I did nothing wrong, and I'm not doing it. Do the push-ups, get over yourself, or you're going to have to go to the office. So he chooses to go to the office.
The sub teacher would have been strep throat licking the doorknob, but hey.
What? And see, this is so unlike, like, when I went to school, and I was talking to this other sub, I'm like, when I went to school, you did not want to get out of school suspension. Like, you would not have been able to sit for that 3 days of out of school suspension. Like, you would have rather just do the push-ups and get over this, right? But nowadays,
Not so much now.
no. Yeah, he's going to go home and play video games. So he was fine with that. But unfortunately, because he went to the office, the other boy ended up getting suspended too, because technically he started it, right? And I felt so bad for him. I'm like, this is not at all what I just do the push-ups and get over it. Come on. Like, you're not even all that mad at each other. You're just being middle school hormone boys. Just quit it. Quit.
I mean, I can remember when I was at that age, and it's like, you know, I had zero fear of my teachers, minimal respect for my teachers, but man, could I fucking fake it, because if it made it home, I was not sleeping that
That's
night.
it. That's it. Like, I was still of the age where, like, they could spank you. Your parent had to come in and say, no, you may not hit my kid. Of which my mom did. She went in there and said, no, you can't hit them. But you call me and I'll come down here and I'll hit them. And then when their father gets home, he's going to spank them. So I was like, can I just sign up for the school?
like,
because then it's just one person beating you. Like, could I sign up for that? No? Okay, well, like, but these kids, they're out of school suspension. That just means video games. Their parents are at work. They just play their video game. They don't care.
I fully understand that. Like I said, it's just, you know, when I was at school, it's like, if that shit made it home.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that was where it ended right there.
Oh, yeah. No, not anymore.
I must have had it easy, because when I got out of school suspension, my mom made us role play. So I
don't know. That would have been uncomfortable.
I guess I never got out of school suspension.
I never got
school suspension.
I never even had in-school suspension. Like, the worst that I had in middle school, I had a teacher send me to the office for reading. And the principal was like, I'm not really sure how one punishes a child for reading. We spent a lot of time trying to get you to do this. And she's like, don't you need to pay attention? And I'm like, no. Well, what about your grade? I have 108% in this class.
Yeah, exactly. Why am I?
And so she's like, well, could you just pretend to pay attention? I don't really like lying, so no. So she just was like, okay, I give up, go back to class, and told him to leave me alone. Like, that was how that was handled. Like, that's the most trouble I got into, right? So, but now here's the thing. I got the other swing of this, which was I was on apparently lunch duty. I'm supposed to like mill around and make sure they're not causing mischief. And this one poor girl was crying. And I'm like, are you okay? And apparently this boy she liked broke up with her. And of course, it's middle school. They've known each other 2 weeks type of thing, right? But she's very
Yes, but
upset.
it's
And I guess
love
his
of her life.
father, I guess the boy's father works at the school in the cafeteria and he was rude to her. And she's just having a very rough life situation at the
Right.
moment. Like she's only been at the school for a couple of weeks. I don't know. I got the impression that the father may have passed away recently and her mother just lost custody of her and she's like living with some relatives and like she's just in a lot of upheaval and turmoil. And I told her, I'm like, I'm not going to lie to you. The truth of the matter is that it does get better. It just takes a long time because right now you just don't have any control over anything in your life. You can't, because they're middle schoolers. They can't control where they go, when they go there, who they live with, like they don't drive, they don't have any say. But eventually it gets better and it gets easier and you get to become older and pick who you spend your time with. And for right now, it sucks, and I'm sorry. And that's the best I can tell you is that it does get better. It just takes time, and it actually apparently the fact that I didn't like lie to her and snowball this, and just pretend it's all peachy, she seemed to really appreciate. And by the end of the day, she was like, well, first off, she wanted to give me a hug, which I was being very good for me. I didn't look at her and be like, but
You're
that
like,
involves touching,
no.
and I don't want to do that. Because she really seemed to need that. So I'm like,
Dude,
sure.
take a pill.
But really my
Oh,
inner
you
my
were
inner monologue is
super
please don't
sad.
make me do this. But okay.
Okay.
I
See,
can't
Lady
believe you
Six
said
knows me.
it.
Until I know you really well, I'm not a touchy human. Like she can give me a hug, but we've only known each other like getting closer and closer to 2 decades. So eventually I become a very warm
Negotiation
person.
that went into it. Yes, but the negotiation that went into it in the beginning of me being like, I'm sorry, I'm a hugger, I forgot. And her going, I'm just going to like suck this up till you stop. And me being like, I'm a hugger, I'm sorry.
It's truthful. There was some kid a while ago who was like, I want to give you a hug. And I'm like, really? Why? Do we have to do this type of? And they're like, you don't want to hug me? And I'm like, no, not really. I mean, you're a weird,
answer
smelly
is
middle schooler. Why do I want to hug you?
So
I do.
I got
I do try not to tell them that they smell funny, but I mean, they're middle schoolers. What do you want?
okay. I got kicked out of English class in high school. Do you want to hear the story behind this?
Heck yes, I
okay.
do, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to start with this is post high school, third year of college. I start dating this girl. And
There's the first mistake. No, Jesus.
Girls are the first mistake. They're all trouble.
she was a very nice girl, and I still like her. She was the younger sister of the principal of my high school.
Oh, see,
And
that
my
was a
younger
problem.
sister, she was like 22 years younger than he was. She was like baby oops. And at the end of that year, helping her move out of her dorm room, at the end of this, I was still not old enough to drink. But I sat down with my high school principal, her brother, and had a beer. And as far as me getting kicked out of English, he looked at me and said, I am very sorry. I couldn't do anything, but you were right. And that made me feel good. But so high school English, we had high school English and then we had AP English. For 11th and 12th grade, they were taught by the same guy because it was a very small high school. I could not take AP English because I wanted to take shop, and they conflicted. So I took normal English and shop. The guy teaching English, I mean, from day one was literally, if you were not in his AP English class, you were a pile of fucking retards and weren't worth his time. And it's like, okay, I can accept this. I don't care. I'm just in here for the credit. I spent most of my English class doing my homework, which means I was not paying attention in class. Whoop-de-doo. The book we were reading at that point in time, and if anyone has had to read this, I apologize, was Tess of the D'Urbervilles.
I've read that.
I guess at the time, Tess of the D'Urbervilles was like uber scandalous.
Yes.
And
if you're from the Midwest, it's still uber scandalous.
well, I'm just going to say that, okay.
We weren't, that was not on our reading list. I will say that.
It was not uber scandalous to me.
It's too scandalous to be on the reading list, Andy.
And
where I went to school, yes.
I am a reader, so, I blew through this book in like 2 days.
Wait. A gamer reads? What? Never heard. Gamers who read.
Okay, well, but I blew through this book in about 2 days, and I'm not paying attention. And well, let's go back. I found the spicy part in the book only because I had to go backwards to find it.
It's not that spicy.
Because, I mean, literally, we go through boring. Oh, good God, chick is fucking pregnant. How did that happen? Click that. And what he did to her was no worse than what his ancestors did to her ancestors during, raping, looting, and pillaging. And it's like, wow, that is the most unspicy rape scene I have ever heard or ever read. And so we had hit the point where we were at the spicy point in the book for high school. And I'm sitting in that class doing my algebra homework because I don't give a fuck. And let's just say that, like I said, the book was bad enough that I gave even fewer fucks than normal. And he asked a question and no one answered, and he singled me out. And I very politely asked him to please repeat the question. And he leaps on me for not paying attention. And I more or less responded with, I've got better shit to do with my time than watch some misogynist perv, creep on high school girls. And he kicked me out. He kicked me out, sent me to the office. And what I remember of this is the first thing I did when I went to the office was ask the office secretary for a dictionary so I could look up misogynist just to make sure I'd use the right word. Which is the ultimate English student response right there. And misogynist was the right word.
Yes. All right.
And I got to go into the principal and explain what happened, explain my side of it. And the principal had already heard the teacher's side of it. And the only evidence I had was, go walk, look in the class, check the seating arrangement. I mean, literally front and center, that 9x9 square of seats was all female. All the dudes in the class were at the sides and in the back. And, I was evicted from that class. I got to take independent English, which got me my English credit because they didn't want to kick me out. Because realistically, the cost of making me do another year wasn't worth it.
Well, see, they make money now. They get paid per butt in seat per day. It's also why half days used to be before lunch and half days are after lunch now.
I will admit that for me in AP English, I totally...
people in your fancy schools that had AP anything. My graduating class was 26. 26 kids.
My graduating class was 99.
Yeah, 99's huge. 4 times.
Mine was like 3,500 or something crazy in the school I
Yeah, I mean,
eventually.
there are high schools now that have more people in them than my town did.
I
Yes.
know.
So, but not my AP English was, I was not supposed to be in AP English. The only reason I got an AP English was because
You wanted to take
you,
shop, and
you, no,
She
I
wanted
didn't
to
want to
take
take shit.
shop.
It's better than that. I went to the instructor, which I had known because his wife was the secretary at my elementary school. And I looked at him and I said, I heard a rumor that you every year take your AP English class to the Renaissance Fair. And he said, yes, I do. And I said, I want in on that action. And he said, so you want me to sign a slip giving you special permission without AP English grades to be able to take AP English honors Shakespeare so you can go to the Renaissance Festival? And I said, absolutely. He says, what are you going to bring to the class? And I said, I've been speaking medieval English for the last 10 years, every weekend at Renaissance fairs and SCA events. That was the easiest fucking A I've ever gotten in my life.
All right.
Because all we did was, he knew it was an AP class. All we did was watch the movies of the Shakespeare. So we watched like 12th Night, Romeo and Juliet. It was hilarious.
I love how geeky we
Wow.
all are. Here we go. But I'm going to
See,
turn this. I'm going to turn this, guys, into a
Uh-oh.
gaming related conversation.
Uh-oh.
No way.
Yes. I feel like being on the point today. On the spot, on the
So
point.
did you get dice today, Andy?
Yes, I did. I actually, and I put them on there. And I love Day Force dice. It has a mimic on it. It is so cute.
Oh, fuck. I picked the wrong ones.
Oh, dude, no,
Oh,
if
man.
you don't, I go on X and I did the unboxing for day 3 and day 4 today on X. And then I went on a crazy, like, here's my table setting. Here's my Charlie Brown Christmas tree. By the way, here's my shed, which is a disaster.
Wait,
I did. I went down to the
don't
shed. I went downstairs and showed off Billy and Mandy. Yeah. I was like live for like 15 minutes. What?
Where are you going to post it so we can actually see it? For those of us that don't do X,
It's
where
on
are you
X.
gonna
I can't
post it so
move
we
it
can-
from X. I can show the dice later somewhere else, but I cannot move that off of X. The
That's
video,
fine. We
it's
want
live.
to see the dice. I would like to see the dice.
I will
Dice are
take
important.
pictures and put them elsewhere. I'll put them on
I
Facebook
picked
or on
the
here.
wrong one then, because
Which one did you pick?
If there are mimic dice, I am super upset.
No, I will show you pictures, and it's a cool color. It's kind of like a brownish, cloudy. It's kind of a neat color. Okay, so what I was gonna say is I'm gonna take all of this craziness and apparently make Farah and Dragon, who are playing with the sock monkey. Okay, so anyhow, talking about character creation and how to make your characters more realistic. So one of the best advice I've ever gotten and given is that everyone is flawed. Apparently, we're flawed by being super geeky people who think things like AP English is funny and learning, SCA stuff is funny. And that apparently marriage is legalized stalking because we're bad people and we're funny. We're funny. So
We're not bad people.
we're totally bad people. For other
I'm a good
reasons.
person.
You're a bad person. Okay. So, but how is it that and this is for everybody. Let's all get in on this. How do you pick the flaws? Oh, see, those are cute. They have kitty cats, and I like that blue, but you picked wrong. I'm just going to be honest with you. You picked wrong.
I picked wrong so hard.
Yeah.
The problem is I backed one of their cat sets years ago.
Uh-huh.
And then sometime in between then and now, I also backed their Halloween cat set, which has a skeletal cat.
Oh, but that's
So
my bag. My dice bag is the skeletal cat.
Which is why I backed the cats this year.
Oh, no.
Now
I will show you pictures. I'll after we get done recording, I'll take pictures.
Bad because you got mimic dice, and I just now have to hope that they come out later. And it's like
Yeah,
a,
because I'll be
alchemist
honest,
set.
there is you could not buy the mimic dice off me because mimics.
Well,
But
yeah, I mean, seriously, I would try, but I can respect that. No, very much can I respect that. No,
see, and this is why I
it's
love you, my
and I
wonderful official unofficial. So so how is it as players, as GMs for NPCs, for your player characters, whichever? How do you pick your flaws for your characters so that your characters feel more realistic? That's the question.
I roll a dice and consult a table like a true role player.
Boo. No, I'm kidding.
no,
I
I have done
actually
that
I've
as
seen
well.
some really fun I've seen some really fun random charts for that actually. So
Sorry,
they
I
have.
couldn't resist. It fell into the whole conversation of us being bad people.
Oh, I just saw your mimic dice.
Did
That
you
is
see?
fucking awesome.
It's adorable. It's yeah. But yeah. So you first off, Sarah, you are obviously evil. Second off, if we're confused about it, we'll find out for sure this coming Monday because I believe you're picking the movie. So we will find out how evil you are. Yeah, yeah, calling you
The
out,
Cat Ooze movie. That is a movie. I've not seen a Cat Ooze movie yet.
dude. So come on, tell me, how do you come up with your? Wait, hold on. There used to be a great series of game accessories central casting that had awesome tables for random. Yes, actually, yes. I've
Again,
actually one of
give
the
us
few
something.
GM screens that I actually use, and it's kind of a joke one, but it has like random names and even has like random things because people are always asking like, "What are they serving at the end?" And you're like, "What the fuck? I don't know, soup." But anyhow, it had a chart for that. It's a really cute GM screen, and I usually don't use those, but that one was just hilarious. So yes, Central Casting had some really good tables. All right, come on, somebody. We have hot dog. You're new. What about you?
Yes, I am.
What do you like to use for inspiration for flaws so that your characters come off more rounded?
So first of all, I got to think about the character's background, right? So everybody has some kind of background, and it that situation, maybe there's some bit of adversity that they've suffered, right? So if we're confronted with something in real life, we're going to respond to something maybe in a positive way or maybe in a negative way, right? Something that's maybe like we could respond in a way that's not really a healthy way for us you know to do so. So if we have a character who we can imagine is responding in a way that's not necessarily the most healthy way, then that can become the flaw. Right, so we all make choices, right? Bad choices and good
Absolutely.
choices, and sometimes we, hindsight can be 20/20, and we realize that, oh, we've been making not the most ideal choices in our life. So we imagine that for a character, right? The character that is
Yeah.
continually making bad choices, and that becomes a character flaw.
Well, and sometimes it's one bad choice that snowballs on you.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. I was one of my guilty pleasures is occasionally watching people get arrested on like YouTube, like they'll videotape body cam. And there was
Hmm.
this guy, and you want to talk about doubling down on the stupidest of stupid. He was going to get a speeding ticket, and he ran, and then refused to get out of the car, refused to show his hands, calls 911 and is talking through the 911 operator to the cop in this weird version of relay over what was originally a speeding ticket. And his logic, the beautiful flawed logic is, well, he was late for work. And apparently getting a ticket was not a good excuse for being late for work, but being arrested obviously was. And surely his manager can't write him up if he was arrested. Let that sink in. Let the stupidity of that sink into your brain. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is a real human, and I guarantee you this man is flawed. I mean, this is flawed. Like, but one bad choice has now created this whole snowball. Like, he's going to jail. Like, he's getting arrested. This is no longer a ticket, right? So yeah, that one occasional, even if you were young and stupid, can snowball into something and can create some really interesting flaws. I currently have a flaw that I owe Wingtail a contract, and I am sorry. I apologize on air. I got very sick, and then the holidays, like I slept like all day and all night for like I don't know, like 5 days, and I never
It's
sleep.
true. It's true. I had to poke her repeatedly, and it
I
finally gave up and said,
apparently
"When you're done sleeping, you call me."
I actually apparently had an entire conversation about Warhammer during this that I don't recall at all. And I don't even like Warhammer. But so Wingtail, I know I owe you. I owe you a contract, and that is on my to-do list for hopefully tomorrow.
It's fine.
Because I suck and I apologize. What about you're going to do some writing for us, and I know some of those are actually writing
Okay, so
some character that. So what do you like to use for your creation of your flaws to flesh out your character stuff?
Well, you know what? It all depends on a whole bunch of factors for me. It depends on whether or not I'm making a game master character, or whether I'm making my own character, or what, or even the system for that matter. Because one of my favorite systems other than Earth Dawn is Savage Worlds. And one thing I really like about Savage Worlds is you can come up with your own character idea, and then it has the edges and hindrances that help flesh out your character using the game rules. And I find that I look through when I'm making a character for that, or even a game master character, I look through that, looking at all the different hindrances after I've made the character or the character idea, and seeing, okay, well, do I want him to have one arm? Do I want him to have glasses, or do I want him to be weak or frail? And how is that going to affect that character and how they do things? But and then sometimes I just have a character idea, and I don't even have to think about it. I already have the flaws, or the strengths and all that already mapped out or figured out. But one of the things that I use when I'm just creating things a lot is I work in customer service. I have for the last like 30 years. So I have met quite a wide range of people, both having worked for me and under me and with me, and also just customers coming in and getting stuff. So I've seen so many different personality quirks and traits, and nice people and angry people and stupid people, and I find that when I'll just pick one of the experiences that I've got and just kind of flesh it out with both with skill or talent selection, or just how they behave, like how they talk, how they look, all of that kind of stuff. And I just basically use my own experiences and meld that into the characters that I'm making.
I like it.
I will admit, one of the things that I like to do, I mean, I jokingly said I roll it, but one of the things that I really like to do is kind of a combination of both of the above. But I like to take it a little bit farther, in that if it's a life experience thing and the normal expectation is, you know, something bad happened to me, therefore I need to be wary because something bad could happen again. I try to take what the opposite would be, because I think it gives very interesting quirks to characters that people don't expect, which would be, maybe the character going, well, bad things happen, so it's got to be done. So of course it's going to be sunshine from here on out, right? Um, which can lead to some really, of course the ogre is going to, I could walk into the dark room and open the door and walk down the closet with the horror music playing. Nothing bad's going to happen to me, right? Um, so I think that there's a lot of different situations. I also, though, occasionally, I just like to play your basic run of the mill, super generic character that isn't super fleshed out and gets fleshed out through gameplay and what happens
Yeah,
with interacting with
I
everybody
like
else.
that
that's
if
always
it's an
fun.
early level character.
Yeah.
I feel
Yes,
like and
that was gonna be
it's
my
a
caveat. As
this
long
is
as it's not a very developed party or developed group
so this is
or
a pet
character,
peeve.
that work.
This has become a huge pet peeve as a GM, especially and as a player. I can't stand it when you're starting off like we're first level characters and you've decided that your character has all these like I'm like, wait, you're a fucking first level character. Like you
Yeah.
just graduated high school, bitch. What? You are not a lady of the realm of whatever the fuck. Don't even shut up. Shut the fuck up. But also if you're starting out at like 7th level, motherfucker, you should have some background. You're 7th level, you've been at this for a while. Have some sort of background.
Exactly.
Like put a little bit of thought into either way. I did have one once that was first level. Like literally, she was no, she was a cleric, and she had just like walked out of the temple on her first jaunt of I am going to cleric in the real world now, right? 16, first starting off, right? And she's like walking through this alley, and this guy said something like, "How you do it?" And then they attack her and try to rob her. So from that point on, anytime anybody said, how you doing? She just immediately hit them, like just fucking swung on them. And that became a flaw because the GM was like, oh, you're in this alley walking. And they said, how are you doing? And she's like, I'm fine. Why are you robbing me? What is going on here? And so then she just, if you said, how are you doing? She just immediately took a mace to your head and just, otherwise, she was very nice. She was a very nice young lady. But you feel bad for your DM? Why do you feel bad? Oh, writing a 20th level back for a first level. I don't mind having
I turned
like
in
some. I don't
like a 30-page,
see. I don't mind that as long as I guess you're starting with at birth the stars aligned. Like you have to.
I actually played under a GM who had us do that. He had us work out. He didn't know what he wanted to run. He had us all create basically a very first level character, right? And then create a 20th level character that was the same character and like what they had developed into. And then he ran a campaign that was a bunch of little mini scenarios that the goal was to kind of get us to where we wanted to be, but like none of the other players knew what that was. It was
It's a brilliant idea.
awesome.
That's
It
a
was
brilliant idea.
awesome. It was a ton
We
of fun to
had
play. I mean, you learned really fast who was like actually wanted to role play and who didn't.
we
Yeah,
had this.
life paths.
I had this
Exactly, Maddie.
one GM and he wanted a backstory and it couldn't be more than 10 pages. And he said you could be creative with it. It's like, okay, cool. So I wrote the backstory and then I only gave him like the odd pages. And I had like rolled them up and you tea bath them and you kind of burn some of the edges so that it's messed up. And then I said, this is what she remembers. It was a world of darkness and I think of Malkavian. So she only knew half of her history. And that's all the GM got.
That's a good
But I
way
wrote
to
the whole
do it.
thing and half the pages went in a trash can.
Yeah, that is a good way of doing it.
So, Andi,
Yes.
to go off of what you just said, I will, regardless of the system, start with, character class, whatever, get the basic idea of what direction I'm going. So, thief, fighter, mage, whatever. And I have a PDF from I don't know if it's World of Darkness, VTM, it's somewhere in the storyteller system. I don't know. They have a couple variations of it, but they have a 20 question sheet that literally starts with what is the character's sex, male or female. Or I'm guessing at this point in time, you could probably pick other options, but I'm
There
old.
was one, what was it? It wasn't paranoia, but it was from that time period where literally everything was a random chart.
Okay, yeah, paranoia has just about everything as a random chart if you want to
Yeah,
do
and so
that.
like your entire character history was random chart that you rolled. Yeah.
But I mean,
Traveler could be
from
too.
there, I mean, you skip over a bunch of boring questions, but how is the character educated? What have they done anything else before this for a living? What's their political and religious beliefs? I mean,
So
it gives you a list of questions,
so they now
which
make
you're going to answer differently based on your system and your character, and it'll give you a background
so
pretty
they
quickly.
now make books that's literally what the book is. I picked one up because I was curious on, look, it's gaming stuff and I'm always curious like what's new, what's going out there. But it's an entire book on fleshing out your character, and it has sections for if you're playing a sci-fi game, if you're playing a western, if you're playing a fantasy, and literally it's like a ton of questions that
Yeah.
about
The
what
the
your
the
character's background could be, that once you answer it you will have a fairly fleshed out background.
the
Does
one I
anybody
have
use those?
saved, the one I have saved is the one from the storyteller system. I have used the Savage World one, which is similar to the 20 questions, and I think you mentioned that a moment ago as well. I have not purchased a separate book for it.
I actually I picked up the book just because I really wanted to see, and I was curious if anybody's used any of them. Hi, Tex.
No, I will be honest, I have not used them. Like I said, I have other things I have used in the past. And I mean, the storyteller system one has served me well for a couple decades now, and
Nothing wrong with that.
I have no reason to go buy another book for that.
You know who we haven't heard from? Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
Hello.
Oh yeah.
Hi. What do you like? What do you use? What's your
Um,
inspiration?
I'll be boring and say me. See, all characters that I get to play, and I don't get to play many anymore, they're all some exaggerated aspect of my own twisted personality, which means
Oh,
they're all
so all
really
your
fucking
characters are
terrible.
super fucked up.
Oh, absolutely.
There we go.
Like, I was
What do
on
you
a
need?
philanthropy kick once playing Shadowrun. Like, I was on a philanthropy kick in real life while I was creating a character for a Shadowrun game. And that character ended up being literal rich kid. And his defining opening first character moment was him driving around in his sports car, throwing wads of cash at, like, physical currency at poor people in his neighborhood. Except it was corporate script from the wrong company for that neighborhood. So, like,
That's
Renraku
awful.
script in a Mitsuhama neighborhood.
Yeah, that's kind of
Oh,
awful.
you are evil.
I mean, it is Maddie.
And I just wrote 10,000 yen off the character sheet in that establishing moment because I had shitloads of money literally to burn. I'm like, fucking why not? But yeah, I had donated a lot to proper legal registered charities in the month leading up to that. I'm like,
It's good tax
I'm not really
write-offs.
getting anything. Well, yeah, but you have to remember to write them off for tax. If you don't get a receipt, then
In
you got
Shadowrun,
nothing.
it's easier to steal corporate script than it is to steal actual money. So,
That's true.
But yeah, that was a fun character.
I think that's going to be the next question. What is the flaw or character quirk that amused you the most, whether it's one of your own or just an NPC or somebody else that was at your table? What was the funniest character flaw slash quirk that you've ever had?
Bad credit.
Bad credit.
It's a flaw from World of Darkness. I think
Yep.
the Demon book, and
Oh
it's
no,
hilarious.
I think it shows up more than just the Demon's World of
Yeah.
Darkness.
It's
The real
Bad
Especially,
world.
Credit is fucking awesome.
but it's hilarious. Like, how are you getting that? You have a horrible credit score. You can't get that.
oh, it's from
Can't
the
get an
other
apartment.
flaw.
You can't.
It's from the
I
other
have
flaw.
resources of
Acrimonious
4, but
divorce.
bad credit. Uh-oh.
You take bad credit and bad divorce,
Oh,
and the
missed that
character
one.
writes itself.
that is awful and actually so hilarious. Can you imagine being a vampire who can't get an apartment because of bad credit and bad divorce?
It's more of a
You're a
hunter or a
pathetic.
mage flaw.
Nah, no, it'd be funny with a vampire. It'd be the most pathetic, whiny vampire ever.
Got divorced 300 years ago and I'm still recovering.
I'm still paying it off.
I can't
Listen,
find a place to sleep during the day where the sun doesn't hit. It sucks.
I have a
don't
friend.
marry a Lasabra,
I-
and this won't happen.
Right. So I have a friend who's going through a divorce, and he recently found out that the ex lied about stuff, and he owes tax money from like 3 years ago or something crazy. But imagine, yeah, as a vampire, I'm still paying off this goddamn divorce. It's been 300 years. That would just be awful.
Oh, the legal system would shit itself. 300 years?
Right.
Wow.
They sold your debt to a corporation so you can never get away from it.
Oh,
Whoa.
just
It never
if it's vampire,
dies.
It's the Holy Roman
So what you're
Church.
saying is
The Holy Ro-
Shadowrun
you-
corporate
oh, dear God.
vampires here.
You owe the Holy Roman Church. Your ex-wife
No.
owes your soul to the Holy Roman Church. There you go.
The
Shadowrun
syndicate,
corporate vampires. Let's go.
the
You
syndicate
know,
from the democracy owns all of your debt,
right?
and they have you mad, and you have to work for them, where they magically will go and accept favors that, like, I've done a lot of fun technocracy characters. My favorite was an economist who could cast spells on people by paying them.
All right, let's see. I don't want to pick on Hot Dog cuz he's new, but what do you got? What's your favorite funniest flaw quirk?
Well, I'm not sure it's really a flaw. It was like the first time I was introduced to Deadlands, and I had to make a character, so I made a gunslinger, and then as part of the background, he was wanted for murder, or he committed murder, and then they said, where, and I said Texas, and the whole table just groaned, and people got up, and and then for the rest of the campaign, these Texas Rangers kept showing up trying to hunt us down.
Don't mess with the Texas Rangers. I like it. Todd, funniest flaw quirk. What do you got?
Does it involve a train?
Does it involve all good stories have trains?
No train, sorry. Not a
Oh.
good story
Oh.
then.
Darn it, Todd. So what's your funniest quirk? Flaw.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Come back to me. I got to think about that for a minute.
I
And
can
it
tell
better
you I
involve
can
a
tell you a
train.
Deadland story with a train while we're waiting. I once had a guy who was playing. It was Jorge and his amazing ass, which was a mule, and the mule was the actual character, and nobody had caught on to this, except for they were supposed to rob a train, and none of us could get our stupid characters up on the train. Like constantly, like just couldn't hit the number, so we couldn't get on the train, except the freaking mule. The mule is on the damn train, and the rest of us are like, how the fuck did that happen? And that's about the time we realized that none of us were as good as an ass. Yeah.
I mean, the mule was a professional train rider. I mean, the rest
Right.
of you were
Like, the rest of us
complete-
just sucked. And it was nothing like being shown up by a freaking ass, like in the game, yeah. So
Okay, I got it.
you got it? Okay.
All right. Bad luck. If I can take bad luck as a disadvantage or a quirk, I will, because with my dice rolling, the DM really never has to, invoke any kind of disadvantage other than bad luck to my character. It's like 3 points.
See, I can't pick that because my dice rolling is shitty enough.
Your dice
without
roll
it.
can't be that bad. Okay. So ages ago, hold on one second. So there is this guy, his name's Bobby, and I love Bobby to pieces. If you could make a bad choice, Bobby did every time. Like if you gave his character 2 choices and one of them was obviously the correct choice, somehow he'd still pick wrong every time. One day we're playing this game and one of the other characters who's apparently deaf and only speaks through sign, right? That was her character's flaw. Puts her hands on some piece of furniture and it's basically like a mimic and it's sticky. So now her hands are stuck to it. And Bobby goes, I'm just going to take my sword and slide it between your hands in this, armoire, right? And get you free. And I'm like, Bobby, don't botch. Because that's the only way this is going to fail is if you botch. And Bobby goes, I'm not going to botch. And I swear to heck, the entire table starts chanting botch, botch, botch. Because obviously we're all assholes. And so this is what they're doing. And I swear to you, he does. And cuts off the character's arms who only speaks through sign. She was very angry at him for a very long time. So you cannot be Bobby level of rolling. You can't. Only Bobby is Bobby level. So you can't be that bad, Todd. It's okay.
But how could you tell she was angry if her hands were cut off?
Oh, trust me. It turns out.
You can probably tell.
It turns
You're
out
married,
women are
aren't
quite
you?
expressive.
Don't you know when she's pissed off, regardless of what she says?
Oh, dude.
Sarah has never gotten angry at me. Not even ow. Once.
See? Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. I think this is why we love Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't show up on the podcast text, but she is awesome.
She is. All right. Who haven't we? Maddie. Favorite flaw.
Well, since all of my character flaws are exaggerated versions of me and I hate myself, I don't have a favorite. I hate them all.
I should not be amused by that, but yet I am because I've been there. I've done that.
Okay, wait. Just in case anybody actually listens to this and can't read the screen. Maddie, marriage doesn't seem to just be legalized talking, but legalized violence. Philip, a good marriage is like a good case of Stockholm Syndrome. You people, we are horrible humans. All of us. Horrible.
Not horrible.
We're all going to bed without dessert. All of you.
I thought we started this episode with marriage was professional stalking.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. We're very bad people. Very bad people.
Well,
all right.
Awesome people. Shut up.
I could tell a story, which I thought was fun, if you'd
Absolutely, Maddie.
Were you married and stalking someone?
No. This was
damn.
one of my all-time favorite characters, Larry the omnisexual swashbuckler, who's some of his adventures that I've related, including being humped on by dragonlings and generally looking good. He looks like Antonio Banderas, but in a purple shirt. So he's that kind of good-looking guy. And Swashbuckler's character setting on a ship, we're actually trying to get information out of a dockmaster on where to go for another ship. And Larry the omnisexual with the 20 charisma gets volunteered to go pumping for information. So that's literally what he decides to do. He's going to go and pump the dockmaster for information. And
Literally
GM
instead of figuratively.
both.
I was going to say,
Don't jump ahead. Don't jump ahead. Max, the game master, who's a good friend of mine and is a very experienced, lovely, forever GM who loves the shit out of it. He does it professionally now. And he's very hard to shake. And he knows what I'm doing with this character because it's a couple of sessions in. So he makes the Dockmaster an 85-year-old woman. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And I creeped it up as much as I possibly could. And he eventually threw his hands up in the air and rolled with it. I'm like, I'll play this to the hilt, literally. But yeah, the extended session of my Antonio Banderas, like 20 charisma character, leaning heavily on the scenery and then taking big bites out of it, flirting with the Dockmaster and a decrepit 85-year-old woman. Then he's like, "Yeah, okay, you win. You get your information." That was fun.
Sounds like it.
I'm not sure it was a flaw.
No, that's a perk. Seduction of, octenians? Yeah.
Octogenarians.
Octogenarian. There we go.
Ew.
Well,
And I'm
maybe it is a flaw to
rapidly
some.
approaching that, so my saying "you" is just not a good thing.
I mean, later on, the same character got freaky with a giant cockroach. So
Okay. Whoa. That's the line. That's the line.
yeah.
Giant cockroaches line.
that's where you draw the line, huh?
That's where I draw the line. I was fine until that. I'm just saying. Look. I have been a forever GM for a long time. I have had entire tables back in, the 90s and early 2000s do nothing but try to come up with ways to make me blink and my brain need bleach. So that's the line, yes. Giant cockroaches, yeah.
And they have failed at making your brain need bleach.
Dolphins. Don't even talk about dolphins. Scariest bastards
Thank
in this.
you, Maddie. I was waiting for you to do that.
Shut up.
My players have definitely learned you do not play horror chicken with me.
Nope.
Because I will out horror you.
Or do stupid things.
Also that.
We need a proper gaming group out of this group.
We do. It would be hilarious.
Maybe for the new year, that's what we should do. Instead of doing a podcast, we should just game for a while.
I'm in.
What we need to do is a once a month game with the people in this group.
I would love to torment you all.
So I don't know, because I know several of you don't really watch read X, but I have decided that, in the grand glorious 365-day art thing, I should do an illicit stick figures 365. And I should then talk Ross into letting us make stick figure plushies.
Pipe cleaners?
Yeah,
Andi?
I know, right?
Andi, there is one
I would buy the
problem
book.
with this idea.
How? What's the problem?
I have seen your stick figures. They are wonderful. If you had to make 365 of them, you'd get better at it, and they would be a lot less wonderful.
No, I'm pretty talentless.
No, I think that is big.
I'm pretty talentless.
Show you my drawings.
So here's the thing. I actually have a story that I've been kicking around in my head that's a kind of 1879 Earth Dawn crossover. And I've been trying to figure out how to tell it with the stick figures and keep the stick figures illicit. But what if instead of doing it with the illicit stick figures, what if we did it as a once a month podcast game?
So you're saying illicit stick figures are always right, Maddie?
Yes. But I would have a
That
story
is
that
a
we could
weird
do.
kink choice.
But I would have a story that we could do that's an 1879 Earth Dawn kind of crossover story. And I think this group would have a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to also add, does this mean you are going to be doing it and Maddie would no longer be the always GM?
Oh, I would be the always GM until you guys make my need brain bleach. And then I'll tag Maddie in. It'll be fine.
Dibs on playing the giant cockroach.
You know, just like have made it a competition to see how quickly we can get there now, right?
I know, but good fucking luck.
Very much.
Good fucking luck.
How fast can one break Andi? That is.
I had a player who, after apparently the characters had raped a NPC, they then ate her and jokingly referred to it as cream filled. So bring it. Bring it.
No. That is childish.
I know.
That is puerile.
Mm-hmm.
No. If I come to destroy kingdoms.
That is not a war crime even.
Oh God! All Windling party. All Windling party.
I had players who created insurance so that they could defraud people. They made insurance in a fantasy setting game so that they could defraud people.
I accidentally a cult.
Accidentally? People do that's an on purpose.
Fine. No, I accidentally did a cult because I refused to acknowledge that the world was not flat. And cosmic entities got involved because the GM started to get really angry with my logic.
Maddie would make a great Windling. And of course, Windlings are allowed, Todd. Windling, you'd make a great Windling. It's fine.
Did your players come up with insurance or protection money? I'm just curious.
Insurance. They did protection money too, but literally insurance. And they would basically threaten people and say, or you could work for us, but we have great benefits. And then they would sell them insurance packages. I'm dead serious.
That's protection.
We also utilize public works.
That's true too. They started public schools so that they could indoctrinate children. Yeah.
No, that's evil.
I know. So yes, you.
Why else would you start public schools?
I mean, I don't know of any other reason.
Children together to enslave them.
I thought it was to indoctrinate them into factory life early.
They basically
killed
all of the kids out of school while two of the characters were on a date and picnicking while they were killing the school of kids. Because isn't that romantic? So yes, you can all be Windlings, and it's not going to bug me.
I, as a Malkavian, forced gangs to recreate West Side Story. Hardened criminal gangs to recreate West Side Story.
Did I ever tell you my favorite Malkavian story? So it was a LARP.
What's that?
And over half of the players were Malkavians, okay? And the Malkavians were just being willy-nilly crazy, running around Malkavians, right? So I brought in a Malkavian. One, I brought in a character who I had a friend playing my human servant who had maxed out Haven Hunt. And two, I created the rotating Primogen. And as long as they voted how I wanted on a certain thing, everybody got to be Primogen. So that the other clans couldn't pinpoint who was going to be in charge to try to corner them and force them into things. And I basically ran the city because the prince knew he was outnumbered. and decided. So yes, as a Malkavian who technically was never prince, I ran an entire city and had rotating primogen. I love people who can play it well. Because if you know what you're doing, Malkavians are actually dangerous as heck.
Oh, Malkavians are the best.
They are if you do it right. But yes, rotating primogen really pissed off a lot of the other primogens. Did you know it was really hard for them to corner and push whatever they wanted if they didn't know who the heck was going to be the voting person the next time?
It's hard to bribe when you don't know who to bribe.
Exactly. Took them forever to figure it out. And then I did things like I was importing and weapons and all sorts of stuff. And I would cover it up with silly things like I would just simply walk in and, okay, Malkavian meeting, right? Get our little Malkavians together. I want you to go and put symbols on all of the manhole covers in town. Well, what type of symbols? Whichever ones make you happy. And then all the other vampires were trying to figure out the damn symbols. And all I wanted was to keep them busy because I was getting in illegal substances and needed them busy elsewhere. We also I had him kidnap all the babies from a hospital just for like 6 hours, put them back.
So you're saying like hobo signs would keep people busy for a month or two?
Oh, dude, they were so busy trying to figure out what the symbols meant. It never dawned on them that it was just literally to keep their stupid asses busy. They were just absolutely...
Hobo signs had meaning if you were a hobo.
I mean, maybe. I didn't care. I just needed them busy and out of my hair for a while.
Well, I bet there was a lot of really, really confused, imbued hunters wandering around that city.
Oh, man. It was hilarious. The storytellers for it were just laughing their asses off because they knew what was going on. And I just would wreak havoc and chaos while actually I was doing all sorts of evil, underhanded shit. Because sometimes I'm an asshole. Oh, dude. There was a primogen. Are you guys there? Can you hear me?
I'm here.
Okay. There was a primogen for the Toreador, and she was being an absolute jerk. And basically, I was just going to have her killed. Because why not? I have an in-game human servant with maxed out Haven Hunt. Easy enough. But the storytellers actually begged me not to do it because apparently out of character, she was kind of a witch. And I'm like, then you better control her. Otherwise, she's dead. Evil. But yeah. If we did this, what night would be a good night?
I won't know that till after the first, Andy, because of previously discussed issues happening later this month for me.
I like a good venture. I mean, Malkavian's always going to have my heart, but a good venture.
I'm going to say Wednesday and Thursday are bad nights for me, but you guys are my Thursday, so, that just makes Wednesday bad.
I think we should do one Thursday a month. We should give up the podcast and do the game. And then if people are willing, post
Well, here's
the
the
game.
thing. We would just record the game.
Yeah.
The big thing is that for me, I have meetings literally Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. But
And
I
small
think
children occasionally too.
I could give up. Hey, Todd, can we both play hooky occasionally once a month on Thursday from Aetherstream?
Sounds good to me.
See, Todd's good with it.
Oh man, twist his arm. That just sounded painful.
Right? I mean, it's awful. Todd might get to play a game. Be awful, Todd.
Man, I sit in meetings all day long. So any meeting I can skip, I'm good.
I think we might do that. We might try it.
What game you thinking?
See, that's it. The storyline I'm thinking actually starts in 1879. However, that doesn't mean we can't have windlings. Just because they're not in the game yet, technically, doesn't mean we can't put them there.
I'm just going to say, I feel like windlings are going to be a lot less of a problem when they finally appear in 1879, because everyone's got guns.
Also, there was a huge fascination with fairies at the time.
Yeah.
Like, windlings would be like celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's the Obsidian they'd be more scared of.
Oh, shit, yeah. Obsidian would... God lord.
There's
Yeah,
this
but
little show
Obsidian
called
should
Carnival
scare you.
Roll.
I've seen that. Did they ever make a second season?
They did make
They
the
did.
second season, but it was so long in between. That's the end of it. And it's kind of sad
That's
because
why I asked, because I'm like,
Yeah.
hmm.
because it was so
'Cause I
long,
didn't
it
mind the
lost
first
momentum.
season.
And apparently, humans now have no attention span.
That's true.
I have minimal
Everyone's
attention
sitting at
span,
home for
and I
several
still
years
survive.
during fucking COVID.
You know what? I like this idea. We're going to start it in 1879, and you're all windlings, and you are the first windlings that have come back.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, that's kind of a really cool idea.
I like it.
So you're saying we have to be a windling?
No, but it would be hilarious.
I'm
Wait.
okay with being a windling. It's just I have never had a GM say you are required to go windling.
Would we be all coming from Grubland, another continent or something, or?
I think
Or
we
the
should
nearest
think on
tree.
that.
I mean, like, it could just be that enough of the magic finally built up. Like, what's a park that's really close to where the Looking Glass is?
Oh, it's the one.
London.
Yeah, it's the big
The
one in
in
London. You can all be.
So,
One Jack the
probably-
Ripper liked to use.
Yeah.
Oh, so like by
Coventry.
Whitechapel. All right, so then probably we would say the oldest tree in there is the first one to tap into whatever tree dimension. And the windlings just kind of come out of that tree.
Guys, I hate to do
They're
this to you.
Keebler elves. Go them.
My brain is melting. I'm totally into this. I definitely would play. I just am not functional anymore this evening, so I'm gonna bow out. Someone take notes because Andy may or may not remember all of this, and I definitely am gonna need some.
So Miss Sticks,
Yes.
I'm just gonna say I was not functional going into this. I needed a nap like 3-4 hours ago. I'm pretending like I'll remember this in the morning.
None of us will remember what we've agreed to.
I napped all a week ago. I'm not napping again. There's no more sleep. No sleep till Brooklyn, and I'm not going to Brooklyn.
Okay, Andy
Wow.
will remember this for us. Go Andy.
Go Andy.
I trust Andy.
Windling
Oh my
Cowboys. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. That's, you know what? We should set the windlings all pop up in the U.S.
Then we would be writing canon for Brad.
Pop up it. They should pop up in New York in Madison Square Garden.
Oh, no, the
yeah,
Windling Cowboys
big-
train heist to start it.
Todd's idea, Redwoods, because that would be like the ideal gate for the windlings to come through.
That would work because you could definitely hit Sacramento, which would have trains. Or San Francisco, which would have trains.
That would be hilarious. Their first thing is to go steal a train to figure out what the hell it is.
It's like one of them to string steamboat engines, but
No, we got
Okay. Y'all figure it out. I would love to either hear about it when this is posted or read about it in the comments. I'm going to bow out and try to remain functional. So I have appointments tomorrow. I have to be functional for doctor's appointments and stuff. So I think you all are fantastic, and I will, I guess, chat with you later.
I should probably
Yeah,
be buggering off too. I got some shit
I
I need
just
to
have
do.
work tomorrow and I don't care.
The Great Windling Train Heist. All right. Let's bounce around some ideas, and then after the new year, we'll pick a Thursday.
That works for me.
I'm still making illicit stick figures.
Oh.
You can make all the dirty stick figures you want.
I'm going to.
We can't stop you from doing
That's
that.
true.
We just can't.
You would think Ross could, but he can't either.
I'm pretty sure if you post them, we'll support you on this even.
Wait. Lady Sticks, what movie on... Are we doing a movie on Sunday, Maddie?
No, it's Monday.
It's Monday. She is not awake enough. I'm just saying.
Nope.
Yeah. All right. I think with that, with everybody leaving and going to sleep, you're all a bunch of bums. I guess I'll go too.
Yep.
Hey, I have to work tomorrow, so hush.
Work is for the weak. Oh, and for people who like keeping their electricity on. And like keeping the electricity on. Work is for the broke. All right.
Yeah.
And while I don't like paying rent, I like not having my shit on the street when I come home.
I like electricity. It makes my computer go room.
I like running water.
Running water's nice. We like running water.
Although where I am now, running water is an option.
No, running water's not an option. I also like hot water. That requires electricity.
We were walking on the lakes at Thanksgiving. It was -9 when I got up this morning.
No offense, but fuck that.
Solid.
That's too cold for me.
What, -9?
+9 is too cold for me. I don't actually like if it gets below freezing. I get cold easy.
Oh.
I'm a baby. Yeah, see, Todd moved to Florida, but Todd, I don't think I can live with you in Florida. Your wife will be like, why is that stupid woman here?
Florida in the summer.
Oh, we got a spare room, so.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm going to Florida. I'm going to go sit with Todd. I'll teach your wife how to game while I'm down there. It'll be great.
Oh, I have to record that.
Yeah, see? I'm going to teach Carol how to game. We'll teach your wife how to game. It'll be fantastic. Good night, Sarah.
We should set that up at Gen Con.
We do. We need to.
Todd, I was with my child at Disney World in January, many years ago. There were 3 families in the pool at 7 a.m. It was 60-some degrees out. We were North Dakota, Minnesota, and Calgary.
Yeah, that would have been me like 2 or 3 years ago, but now my blood has thinned.
And the groundskeepers were in freaking parkas. It's like, it was a little weird.
Yeah,
you darn polar bears.
Coming down.
I love
from
the weather in
north
Calgary.
Who lives here?
I would like to blame it on the anemia, and I'm told that actually is part of it, but I get cold way too easy. I'm not doing that. Nope. All right, well, with that, I'm going to stop the recording, so good night. Thank you for anyone who hung out, and thank you for people who joined in. Lady Six already said goodbye. My official, unofficial.
Good night to Six and Andy. So
have a good night. We'll see you next Thursday.